Every system has a vulnerability. Every network has a door. And somewhere out there, someone already knows how to open it. This is Breach. The year is 1994. The FBI has issued an alert for a man they cannot find. He carries no weapon. He has committed no violence. He has stolen nothing you could hold in your hands. And yet, the FBI calls him the most dangerous computer criminal in the United States. His name is Kevin Mitnick. And this is how it started. Kevin David Mitnick was born in 1963 in Los Angeles, California. He grew up in the San Fernando Valley, suburban, ordinary, unremarkable. Except for one thing. At 13 years old, Kevin discovered phone phreaking. Phreaking was a subculture of obsessives who had reverse-engineered the telephone network. They understood its tones, its routing logic, its blind spots. They could make free calls, reroute traffic, impersonate operators. And Kevin was gifted. By 16, he had already done something that would define the rest of his life. He called Digital Equipment Corporation. He impersonated an employee, and he talked his way into their systems. Not by hacking the machine, by hacking the person answering the phone. Most people think hacking is about code. Kevin Mitnick knew better. The weakest point in any system is the human being operating it. He called it social engineering, the art of manipulation, of making someone trust you, of making them give you what you need, willingly. He would call into corporations, pretend to be IT support, pretend to be a vendor, pretend to be a colleague, and doors would open. Over the years, he moved through the systems of Pacific Bell, Nokia, Motorola, and dozens of others, not leaving a trail, not making noise, just watching, collecting, disappearing. In 1988, he was caught for the first time. He served 1 year, then he was released, and he kept going. By the early 1990s, Kevin Mitnick was a fugitive, moving from city to city, Phoenix, Denver, Las Vegas, Seattle, living under false names, using prepaid phones, paying cash for everything. And from cheap motel rooms across America, he was still hacking. Motorola, Nokia, NEC, Sun Microsystems. He broke into their systems not to steal money, but because he could. Then he made a mistake. He targeted Tsutomu Shimomura. Shimomura was a physicist and computational security researcher, one of the best in the country. And Kevin broke into his systems on Christmas Day, 1994. Shimomura took it personally. He partnered with the FBI. He built a triangulation system. He walked through apartment complexes with a radio receiver, narrowing the signal, room by room, floor by floor. On February 15, 1995, in Raleigh, North Carolina, there was a knock on the door. The game was over. What happened next is where the story gets complicated. Kevin Mitnick was arrested. That part was straightforward. What was not straightforward was what followed. He was held in pretrial detention for 4.5 years. Not convicted, held. The prosecution argued he was so dangerous that if he were given access to a telephone, any telephone, he could launch nuclear missiles. The judge agreed. No bail, no phone calls. 4.5 years. He eventually pleaded guilty. He served his time, and when he was released in 2000, he was banned from using computers or the internet for 3 more years. But Kevin Mitnick did not disappear. He became one of the most sought-after cybersecurity consultants in the world. The ghost became a guardian. The man who had broken into systems for decades was now being paid by governments and corporations to find the holes before someone else did. Kevin Mitnick died on July 16, 2023. He was 59 years old. What happened next is where the story gets complicated. What do we learn from Kevin Mitnick? Not how to hack, how to think. Every system he penetrated had firewalls, had passwords, had layers of technical protection. None of it mattered, because someone picked up the phone and trusted a voice they didn't verify. The most sophisticated attack vector in the history of cybersecurity is a person who wants to be helpful. This is Breach, where every attack is a story, and every story is a lesson. If you work in an organization that handles sensitive data, share this, because the next Kevin Mitnick is already on the phone.